Good morning and welcome to today's Authenticity with Jara. I have coffee, but hopefully you brought your tea or coffee to sit down and talk today. Authenticity with Jara is a daily live stream that I'm doing. I'm Jara. And where we talk about different elements of authenticity as they come up in the flow of my life. We've been doing this for probably about a week now, and it's going pretty well. So welcome if you're watching live, and thank you if you're watching later. All these skills and ideas I think are some of the highest work we can do in the world, so I'm really excited to share them with all of you and sharing the experience. I really would love this to be a conversation rather than me talking at you, so feel free to join in. Today's going to be a little bit short because I have a lot of stuff going on today, but I still wanted to check in with you and keep this going. So today I want to talk about the things we're not supposed to talk about. I bet you thought sex first. No, the things I want to talk about are the things that we're told not to talk about when we're young, right? As we're growing up past that child stage, we're told don't go to a family gathering and talk about politics, religion, or money. Totally not okay. But I want to take a look at that because that's ingrained in most of the people I know in this modern society. It's really ingrained deeply in them. This idea of there's certain things you don't talk about, and it's very much decorum. And I would say that shaming or that programming is actually incredibly harmful because one of the strengths of the human body is that we are stronger when we share, right? We're collaborative. We are a highly social creature. And so when we are prevented from sharing ideas and from having level, healthy communications with each other about things that may be, a little edgy or a little hard, I think we do ourselves a disservice. And this comes up for me right now because with this recent transition I've been going through, everything has been up in the air. And financially, there's been some serious gaps that I've had to work around figuring out how to cover. And I'm really used to doing that very much by myself. If I'm asking for help with money, or if I'm reaching out to talk to somebody about my money issues or to talk about my struggles, that feels really, really hard for me to do. Even when I desperately need the help, even when rent is due in days and I just don't have it, it's still so hard to reach out and say, hey, this is what's going on for me. And I think that does us a disservice, why that basically puts us in these boxes where we're not relating authentically with each other, where we're not being real or vulnerable with each other. And I think those vulnerable, real moments with one another and seeing one another are some of the most magnificent pieces of being human together and some of the biggest strengths of the human body. And again, I want to bring this back to what are we being fed? I don't want to be one of those conspiracy, Animal Farm, type of soapbox speakers, but really, what are we being fed? What are we hearing and seeing in the world around us that's preventing our full authentic expression? And do we accept it? I want to promote the idea, especially within the practice of authenticity, to really question things, to wake up and look around to what is coming in at us. What is our systems feeding us, and are we willing to consume what they're feeding us? And that can go from anything from actual consumption of industrial meat to ideas like don't talk about politics, religion, and money. And it's really about power. It's really about disempowering people from understanding their own power and their authenticity. It's a distraction. All of these pieces of construct and systematic oppression, they're all distractions from the fact that each of us is totally empowered and a powerful being, and we become more powerful when we authentically and healthily communicate and collaborate with other humans. And that's really dangerous for the system. And so we get a lot of intense programming to try to keep us isolated and separate. And as we move through authenticity, we're going to keep asking ourselves this question. What am I being fed? What am I accepting as a preset? What am I accepting from the world around me as just that I don't have a choice? And I would say that you absolutely do have a choice. We have a choice in every moment. We don't have to just accept what's being fed to us. We don't have to just accept the constructs that are being built around us in our society. We can wake up and look around and say, do I accept this? Is this something that feeds me? Maybe talking with my friends about my money issues brings up new solutions. That's what happened to me. I reached out to someone I love and talked to them about what's going on, and they had a solution I didn't even think of that may help me make just enough to get me through to the part where I'm feeling more comfortable. But I wouldn't have gotten that unless I collaborated, unless I vulnerably shared. So there's so much of the systems around us, government, state, school, community systems, that are built specifically to oppress the authenticity and the power of individuals and the collaborative power of individuals getting together. And rather than just accepting that, I think anybody who gets deeply into their authenticity has to look at, what does that mean for me? Am I willing to accept it? And if I'm not willing to accept it, right, we have that ACT, accept, change, or turn. So am I going to accept this reality and know that that's a choice? Am I going to try to change my reality? Not other people's reality to fit me, but my reality. Am I going to change the things around me to better feed my authenticity? Or am I just going to turn away? Am I going to pivot away from what most people accept as real or the thing to do and do something else? And that could be running off into the woods, right? Or it could be going to an intentional community, starting an intentional community, getting out of, going to another country, going to a country that's, or an area, a country, a state that's very different from your own, and getting a different perspective. So that can be turning away or pivoting as well. So we always have those choices. We always have that choice of acting, changing the situation, or turning away, ACT. And we have those options at all times. And I honestly think that understanding those options in the moment is such an amazing way to really suss out what is authentic for us, what works for us. So I'm really sorry that this is so short, because I can see we have a lot of people here watching. So if you have anything that you want to add about the ways in which we censor ourselves, the ways in which we allow the constructs of society to oppress us, to suppress us. Hey Jasmine, hey Hayden, hey everybody. If we can figure out and really look at that and really decide what choices we're going to make about that, we can not only rise into our own power to a more full extent, but we can collaborate with others in a way that is revolutionary and nourishing for each of us and all of us together. So, sorry this has to be a short one, but I'm really excited to have been here with all of you. Feel free to comment down below. Kai, thank you. You're awesome too, hun. It's really good to see you here. And until tomorrow, when 10 a.m., we will have another one of these tomorrow at 10 a.m., so feel free to join in then. It's going to be another juicy topic. But until then, stay authentic, everybody. Thanks.